Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mina, and today's video I am gearing up for the Summerween Readathon, which begins this week. I am planning to tell you guys my TBR for Summerween. If you're not familiar, Summerween is an annual book readathon where we basically read a bunch of spooky thrillers and horrors for a full week straight, and there are usually some like prompts or challenges that you can fulfill along the way if you're interested in doing those activities. This readathon was created by Gabby from Gabby Reads and Olivia from Olivia Reads a Latte. I participated in it last summer, and then I also participated in the Winterween version of this readathon back in January, so I am very, very excited to be able to join in again this year. It starts this Friday, which is, I was gonna say February. Like, what month am I in? July 2nd, and it goes on until the next Friday, which is July 9th. I am planning to vlog during the week. I know that I did daily vlogs last year for Summerween, and then daily vlogs again this year for Winterween, so my goal is to do that again this year. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to like play it by ear and see if I like feel comfortable vlogging every day, or if I would rather just like bunch my vlogs together into like 2 days here, 2 days there, like that. So I may do that, but I'm kind of gonna see how it goes with day one, and then, you know, you guys will know by then. So I'm really excited. There are a couple of exciting prompts to fulfill this time around, and I have to tell you, I was really struggling with deciding on which books to choose for this readathon. I just feel like it came so suddenly this year. Last year it took place like the first week of September, and this year it is now taking place in July. So it's pushed up a lot earlier, which is fine, but I feel like I didn't have time to really prepare, and because this is coinciding with my Camp Spooky Readathon, I've kind of been focusing on that and like trying to choose books for that, so having to participate in another readathon has been a little bit more challenging for me. I literally just came back from Barnes & Noble. Today was the release date of Riley Sager's Survive the Night. You will see that vlog after my Summerween vlogs, just because I want to focus on that, and then I will post the vlog for this afterwards, even though I'm going to start reading it today, but you will see the vlog later. So that being said, I want to go through the few books that I plan to read for the Summerween week, and I'm also going to tell you guys what the challenges are in case you are interested in participating and you are unaware of what those challenges are. So as usual, there are 5 different prompts. Let me just pull them up on my phone. Okay, so here are the challenges. The first one is to bake or make a drink with your spooky read, which is not technically book related, but I'm probably going to either make myself a coffee or bake some cookies, something like that. Number 2 is to read a book to read a book in the dark, which has been one of the prompts for the past 2 summer and Winterween sessions. Usually for this, I like to choose either a shorter book or a graphic novel, just because it takes me a while to read books, and like it would take me a couple of sessions to do so. So I definitely won't be able to do like a full novel in one setting, and I know that this challenge is to read the book completely in the dark, like not just a section of the book, the whole book. So I do have a graphic novel for that. I will get to it in a second. Number 3 was to read a paranormal book. This one surprisingly was so difficult for me to figure out, because every single like paranormal and supernatural horror book that is out there that I have had any interest in, I have already read. Like all of the Stephen King paranormal books that, you know, people always recommend, It, Carrie, Pet Sematary, I've read them all. The classics like what is it called? Amityville Horror, The Woman in Black, Rosemary's Baby. Like, I've literally read all of those, so it was really difficult for me to, even like Horror Store and like the Grady Hendrix books, I've read all of those, so I really struggled with this prompt, and I will show you in a second what I chose. Number 4 is to read a horror book, which is kind of like, you can mix those two prompts because usually paranormal, supernatural books they tend to be horror. And then number 5 is to read a book with a black or orange cover, or a cover that has both black and orange on it. So that is really exciting. Those are the 5 prompts. Let's get into what I am reading. Also quickly want to shout out and show off my awesome t-shirt in case you haven't heard. I am the horror queen. That's what I will now be known as. But it says horror queen right here. It also says it on the back as well, and I got this amazing shirt from an Etsy shop called Sage and Bones Co. I will link them below in case you're interested in picking up this shirt or some of the other cute like Halloween spooky stuff that she has posted on her shop. Love, love, love it. I actually like got it a size bigger so that it would be a little bit oversized, and I love it. So okay, let's get into the books that I plan to read. As usual, I don't have a lot here because it's only a week, and we know how slow I am of a reader. So the first book that I am planning to read is a graphic novel, and it is called Mooncakes. And this is a book that Keely, my Booksta bestie, got for me for my birthday. I had trouble finding this, and she found it and was like, don't get it, I'm getting it for your birthday. So I was like, okay. So this I don't know too much about, but I do know that it has a witch character and a werewolf character, and I'm sure like it follows like their struggles being like supernatural beings. So I really, really don't know what the plot of this is, but it looks really cute. And we love a graphic novel, so I'm going to use this for the prompt to read a book in the dark. I will probably get to read this in like 1 or 2 sittings, and I'll read it completely when it is dark out. So that is my first book. This also works for Camp Spooky because one of our challenges is to read a book that is a spooky graphic novel. So that's that. The next book that I have here, these two were blind buys that I picked up from Barnes & Noble. I was literally just looking for books that would fit these prompts. So the first one that I found that sounded interesting is called If You Go Down to the Woods by Seth C. Adams. This was a book that was released in 2018, I believe, and I never heard of this book before, but I read the description and it sounded very interesting. It definitely has vibes of It and The Chalk Man, Stranger Things, about a group of 13-year-old boys who are hanging out during the summertime, and one day they go into the woods and they find an abandoned car and a dead body in the car, and it basically follows the mystery of like who the dead body is. And then it says, then the collector arrived. He knew we had his secret. We found his secret, and suddenly our summer of innocence turned into the stuff of nightmares. Nothing would ever be the same again. But it sounds really, really good. I'm hoping that it gives me those Stephen King It vibes. It sounds like it does. It's rather short. I think it's under 300 pages. So this I'm going to use for the prompt of reading a book with black and orange on the cover. The wording is orange. So that's really exciting. I am so excited for this, even though I've never heard of it before. I hope that it is going to be a good pick for me. And it's horror, so I don't know if it's going to be supernatural horror or if it's more like realistic type of horror. And the other book that I found, super bought on a whim, that is Theme Music by T. Marie Vandelli. The little blurb on the bottom here says, the scariest book since The Haunting of Hill House. Again, never heard of this book. I think it also came out in either 2018 or 2019. And from what I read, this is a supernatural horror book, ghost related, I think. It's about a woman who experienced a very traumatic experience in her childhood when her family was murdered, butchered. And she was 1 year old. And then 25 years later, she is still like trying to figure out what happened to her family. I think she moves back into her childhood home and connects with like an investigator, and they try to solve the mystery of what happens. However, while that is happening, bodies start to pile up, and she starts to question her sanity and wonders if there is an evil force that is behind these deaths. And she's wondering if that evil force is her father, like the ghost of her father, or a demon of her own making. I don't know what that means, but it sounds really interesting. And then when I looked this up on Google, it had some really interesting reviews. This is a debut novel, so I always try to like read debut novels as much as I can if I hear of them, because, you know, we always want to support new authors, but it sounds really interesting. It sounds really creepy. I'm hoping it delivers. I'm really bad at like picking up obscure random books that nobody knows about, because I usually I don't want to say I don't enjoy them, but like sometimes they just don't live up to like what I anticipated. That's why I go with a lot of recommendations from authors that I know of and like other people who have read the books, but I have heard nothing about either of these books, so we're just gonna go into them blindly and hope that they are good picks. So yeah, I'm gonna use this theme music book for the supernatural horror book, and both of these fit for the prompt, which is to read a horror novel, because both of them are horror. So yeah, I should be able to hit all of the prompts if I read these 3 books during Summerween, and hopefully I will enjoy them all. I am beginning in a couple of days, so I have to start and finish Survive the Night by Riley Sager within the next 3 days, which is what I'm currently vlogging. So you'll see that video soon, and that's pretty much it. I will see you guys during Summerween in a couple of days. I hope you're all participating. Let me know what you're planning to read. I really want to know which paranormal supernatural book people are planning to read, because I had a really hard time finding something since I've read so many paranormal supernatural books in my life, and like I just couldn't find anything that was like speaking out to me. There were some books that I wanted to read that sounded really good, but they were just too long for the readathon. For example, the book Summer of Night by Dan Simmons. I have that one ordered and it should be coming in today, but it's like over 500 pages, and I don't know if I will be able to finish that in 1 week's time. And I also wanted to read more than just one novel, so I was just like, forget it, I'm going to just go with something shorter. We'll check these out, see how they go, and I will let you know my thoughts throughout the Summerween week. So that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, let me know if you're planning on participating this year in Summerween. What are the books that you're planning on reading? What are the challenges that you're planning on completing? And if you've read either of these 2 books, please let me know what your thoughts are, because I need some motivation for them. So I will see you guys very soon in my next video, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful day today. Bye guys!